I met Marcus Chen in my sophomore year of high school. We were in Columbus, Ohio, the kind of place where nothing exciting ever happens. He was a transfer student, showing up in October when everyone had already formed their cliques. The counselor walked him into our English class, and I just remember thinking he looked so out of place, so uncomfortable. He was Asian American, with this messy black hair that always fell into his eyes, and he constantly wore oversized hoodies, even when it wasn't cold. Mrs. Patterson had him introduce himself. His voice was so quiet I could barely hear him say, "I'm Marcus. I just moved here from Portland." Later, at lunch, I saw him sitting all by himself near the vending machines. I don't know why, but I felt this pull, this need to go over. So I did. I walked up and asked, "Hey, you want to sit with us?" He looked up, and for a split second, his eyes looked different. Not the color, but the way he looked at me, almost like he'd been waiting for me to ask. He just said, "Yeah, thanks." And just like that, it started. Marcus became my best friend faster than anyone I'd ever known. Within 2 weeks, we were inseparable. He'd come over after school, and we'd do all the normal teenage stuff, play video games, watch dumb YouTube videos, argue about movies. He was the easiest person to be around. But looking back, there were definitely some oddities. For one, he never ever let me come to his house. Not once. If I asked where he lived, he'd give me some vague answer like, "Oh, near the old furniture factory," or "by the train tracks." But whenever I offered to give him a ride, he'd always insist on walking. It was strange. He also never ate in front of me. I'm not talking about being a picky eater. I mean, he literally never ate. At lunch, he'd buy a tray of food, poke it around with a fork, and then just throw the whole thing away. When we'd order pizza at my place, he'd claim he already ate. My mom even started joking about it, asking me, "Does Marcus even have a stomach?" It was a running gag, but it was also just weird. And then there was the phone. Marcus had no social media. No Instagram, no Snapchat, nothing. His phone was this ancient flip phone from like 2005. I asked him about it once, and he just said, "I don't like being tracked." I laughed and asked, "Tracked by who?" He didn't laugh back. He just looked at me seriously and said, "Just people." At the time, I brushed it off. I figured he was just a private person. But all these little things, they started to add up. The strangest moment, the one that really sticks with me, happened during winter break of our senior year. By this point, we'd been friends for over 2 years. I trusted Marcus more than anyone on the planet. He knew everything about me, my parents' divorce, my dad's struggles, all the stuff I never talked about with anyone else. And he always just got it. He never judged. He'd just listen with this incredible focus, making me feel like I was the only person in the world. One night, we were hanging out in my basement, and I asked him something that had been on my mind. I said, "Do you even have other friends besides me?" He got really quiet for a moment, and then just said, "No, why not?" I asked. His answer completely threw me off. He said, "Because I wasn't sent here for them." I laughed, trying to break the tension. "Sent here? What are you, an alien?" He didn't laugh. He just looked at me with those intense, dark eyes and said, "What if I told you I'm not who you think I am?" A chill went right down my spine. I tried to play it cool. "Bro, are you about to tell me you're in witness protection or something?" "No," he said. "Then what?" He just stared at me for what felt like an eternity. Then he stood up. "I need to show you something," he said, "but not yet." "You're not ready." "Ready for what?" I asked, completely confused. He grabbed his backpack and walked towards the stairs. "Marcus, what the hell are you talking about?" He paused at the door, his back to me. "You'll understand soon. I promise." And then he was gone. I didn't hear from him for 3 days. My texts went unanswered. My calls went straight to voicemail. I was starting to get genuinely worried. Then I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. The message was short and cryptic. "Meet me at Schiller Park. Midnight. Come alone." Trust me, I should have been freaked out. I should have told my parents or called the cops. But this was Marcus, my best friend. The guy who had been my rock for 2 years. So against my better judgment, I went. Schiller Park at midnight in January is completely desolate. It was freezing cold, frost covering the grass, and the playground equipment looked like skeletons under the dim streetlights. I saw a figure standing near the frozen pond, hands shoved in their pockets. But as I got closer, I realized something was off. The person was too small to be Marcus. And when they turned to face me, I stopped dead in my tracks. It was a girl. She was Asian, with long black hair and delicate features, and she was wearing the same oversized hoodie Marcus always wore. And when she looked at me, I felt that same exact chill from my basement, because her eyes, they were his eyes. "Hey, Ryan," she said, her voice soft. I took a step back, my mind racing. "Who the hell are you?" She gave me this sad little smile. "It's me who? Marcus." I let out this sharp, nervous laugh. "Okay, this is some kind of prank, right? Where's Marcus? Did he put you up to this?" She stepped closer, and I saw she was holding something. It was my watch. The watch my grandfather gave me before he died. The one I had lost 2 months ago and had been heartbroken over. I told Marcus all about it. "You said you'd give anything to have it back," she said quietly. "I found it under the bleachers at school. I was going to surprise you, but I couldn't keep pretending anymore." My heart was pounding in my chest. "Pretending what?" She looked down, and her voice cracked as she spoke. "I'm not Marcus. I never was." "Then who are you?" I demanded. "My real name is Maya." The world just seemed to tilt on its axis. I don't understand." She took a deep breath, and when she looked back up at me, there were tears in her eyes. "I've been in love with you since the day I walked into that classroom, Ryan. But I knew you'd never look at me the way I needed you to. So I became what you needed, a friend, a brother. Someone you could trust." I felt physically sick. "You've been pretending to be a guy for 2 years?" "Yes," she whispered. "Why?" "Because I knew that's the only way you'd let me in." I stumbled back, my mind just short-circuiting. Suddenly, it all made a twisted kind of sense. The oversized hoodies, never eating, never letting me come to his house, the ancient flip phone. It was all a lie. "This is insane," I whispered. "I know. You catfished me," I said, the words tasting like ash. "In real life, I didn't catfish you, I became your friend. Everything we shared was real, Ryan. Every conversation, every moment we spent together. The only thing that wasn't real was the body you saw." I just shook my head. I couldn't process it. "I need to go," I said. "Ryan, please, I need to think." I turned and I just ran. I didn't sleep at all that night. I just kept replaying every single memory I had with Marcus now, with Maya. I was trying to find the cracks, the tells, the signs I should have seen. But the craziest part, the part that was really messing with my head, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. Because she was right. Everything we shared was real. She had been the best friend I'd ever had. She knew me better than anyone. She was there for me when my world was falling apart. And now she wanted more. The next morning, my phone buzzed with another text from her. It read, "I know you're angry. I know you feel betrayed. But I need you to understand I did this because I love you. And I'm not going to stop loving you just because you know the truth now. We need to talk, please. One more time." I just stared at that message for what felt like an hour, my thumb hovering over the screen. And then I typed back a single word. "Where?" Thanks for watching, everyone. This story is pretty wild, I know. Let me know in the comments what you would have done in my situation. Maya asked me to meet at the park again, but this time during the day. Sunday afternoon. The kind of day filled with families, kids on swings, joggers on the path. I guess she thought I'd feel safer in the open with people around. I got there early, found a bench near the pond, and just watched the ducks glide across the water. My hands were shaking, but it wasn't from the cold. It was from everything spinning in my head, a dizzying loop of questions and disbelief. Then I saw her approaching. A chill, sharp and sudden, ran right through me. Even from a distance, even though she looked like a complete stranger, I knew her. It was the way she walked, that slight hunch in her shoulders, the way her hands stayed buried deep in her pockets. That was Marcus. No, that was Maya, doing a perfect imitation of Marcus. Or maybe Marcus had always been Maya. My mind was a mess. She sat down beside me, leaving a careful, deliberate space between us. For a long moment, neither of us said a word. The silence was heavy, filled with 2 years of unspoken truths. Finally, I broke it. My voice was barely a whisper. "How?" She looked at me, her expression impossibly calm. "How what?" "How did you do it?" I pressed, my voice gaining a bit more strength. "The voice? The way you walked? Everything?" She explained it so matter-of-factly it was unnerving. Binders, baggy clothes, sometimes a wig. I'd practiced the voice for months, listening to recordings, lowering my pitch. My aunt rarely notices me anyway. Teachers at school never questioned it. It wasn't impossible, she said, as if she were describing a simple school project. But this wasn't simple. You faked your identity for 2 years, I said, the words tasting like ash. Why? Why would you do that? To be close to you, she said softly, her gaze steady. To understand you. The simplicity of her answer was infuriating. You could have just come as yourself. I shot back, my frustration boiling over. She shook her head slowly. You wouldn't have seen me. Not the real me. You have this wall. But as Marcus, you let me in. You trusted me. Her words hit harder than I expected, landing right in that fragile place I thought I kept hidden. I wanted to argue, to deny it, but deep down a part of me knew she was right. I did have walls, and Marcus had slipped right through them. I watched you first, she continued, her voice still quiet, almost confessional. For months. I saw how you were with people friendly, but always careful. Distant. I knew if I came in as someone harmless, someone who didn't demand anything, you'd eventually notice me. You'd let me in. So you manipulated me, I accused, the word hanging in the air between us. I gave us a chance, she replied, not missing a beat. Her conviction was startling. Everything that happened after that, our friendship, the long conversations, all those moments we shared, that was real. I never faked that part. I couldn't sit still anymore. I stood up, pacing back and forth on the gravel path. My thoughts were a tangled mess. My best friend, the person I trusted most in the world, was a complete fabrication. This is a lot. I know, she said, her voice laced with an empathy that felt both genuine and calculated. I never meant to hurt you. I just wanted to be part of your world, and it was the only way I knew how. Over the next week, she kept messaging me. At first, I ignored most of them. I needed space to breathe, to process the sheer scale of the deception. But she was persistent. She didn't push for a conversation, she just shared. Photos from her childhood, awkward school pictures, showing me the person she was before she became Marcus. She told me stories about her past, about the times she felt invisible, and how she'd learned to observe people just to understand them better, to feel connected. 2 weeks after our park meeting, we met at a diner. Neutral ground. Public. Safe. She was already there when I walked in, sitting quietly in a booth with a cup of coffee. She looked smaller, more vulnerable, without the Marcus persona to hide behind. She spoke first. I'm not going to apologize for caring about you, she said quietly, but with an unwavering firmness. The way I did it was wrong, but the feeling was real. I slid into the booth opposite her, the worn vinyl cool against my skin. I don't know what I can do with that, I admitted honestly. I don't know where we go from here. Just let me show you who I am, she pleaded, her eyes searching mine. The real me. No more games. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for a fleeting moment, I saw a flicker of Marcus in her eyes, the same intense care, the same unwavering attentiveness. And in that moment, I realized something crucial. I still valued her presence. The friendship might have been built on a lie, but the connection, the support, that was something I wasn't ready to lose. Not everything was gone. Okay, I said finally, the word feeling both heavy and liberating. We can try. But we start over, from scratch, slowly and honestly. No more secrets. She nodded, a small, genuine smile breaking through her tense expression. It was the first time I'd seen her really smile as herself. Deal. It's been months since that day. We've been rebuilding piece by piece. It's not easy. She's careful, incredibly patient. She's still mysterious in her own way, still a little unpredictable. But the small details, the way she notices things about me that I miss myself, the way she truly listens when I talk, the way she always seems prepared for anything, they remind me of why I trusted Marcus in the first place. Those qualities weren't part of the lie, they were her. Sometimes when I walk through that park, it feels smaller now. The shadows seem to move just slightly off from where they should be. The birds sometimes act strangely, their calls sounding more like warnings. And I remember Maya wasn't just a friend who stumbled into my life. She was someone who observed everything, someone who waited patiently for the exact right moment to step fully into my world. And even though I can't fully trust her yet, even though a part of me is still on guard, I know one thing for sure. In this quiet, unassuming town, someone like her never completely disappears. They're always watching. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It's been a complicated journey, and I'm still figuring it all out. If you've ever had a friendship that took an unexpected turn, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you want to follow along as I navigate this, please consider subscribing. It means a lot.